Well, to bring us more on this story, Jean Maher is president of the French-Egyptian Organisation for Human Rights. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you for speaking to us. It seems these attacks are often used to stir up religious tensions in Egypt.
Yes, of course, they want to make division between the Christians of Egypt, which are a very important community. We have about 17 millions out of 90 millions. So one of the targets is, of course, to mount the people against each other and to make a division between the two communities, the Christians and the Muslims. This is their own target. And it's also an attack against the regime, because the people who do it, and they know that there is a good relationship between the head of the Coptic Church and the current president, and also with the head of the Al-Azhar. So at the top levels, the things are in good condition. So they want to make a division, and they want also to make a division between the Copts themselves, because after such attacks, you have different opinions. You know, there are people saying the regime is not protecting us enough. The others would say, yes, but we have to, to support them up to the end. So clashes between the same community, between the two different opinions.
This is a real change, though, in Egyptian society. We've seen for many years Coptic Christians and Muslims living side by side relatively peacefully. This is going to, for the future, really divide the country if it continues going this way.
The majority of the two communities, the Christians and the Muslims, are in good condition. They have done the revolution of the second revolution of the 30th of June of millions, 20 millions on the roads together. They have claimed the military to come to their aid to get rid of the Muslim Brotherhood. So I think in general the relationship will remain, and a lot of Muslim people are giving their blood for the people who were hurt. But the trouble is that the fanatic people will continue to work on this matter, because the more they make division, the more they are gaining in order to reach their target. The target is just to have an Islamic state, to apply the Sharia law and to have power again.
Now, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, we just spoke about it, has declared this state of emergency, which has been approved now by Egypt's cabinet. How far can that go into ensuring, if you will, security for Egyptians? It
will help. It is not the solution, because the state of emergency remained for 30 years under Mubarak time. The trouble is that during Mubarak time for 30 years, he left the society infested by Muslim Brothers, by the Wahhabists, and by the Salafist ideology. So you have two solutions. They have the solution, a quick one, a fast one, which is in the hand of the military and the police, and this the state of emergency will help. But you have a long-term solution, which is to get rid of the ideology, because it's not with bombs and with planes and with tanks that you are going to get rid of the...
How do you get rid of such an ideology? It's a huge task.
It's a huge task, but it's not only in Egypt, because the same thing is happening in Europe. All these attacks, well, we are talking about terrorists. We stop them. We find the others and say, yeah, and we applaud for some time, and then it is repeated again. The same thing happening in Egypt, which is to expand this ideology of hate, is also still happening in Europe. So the work they are doing in Egypt, they are doing this work alone, I think. And the Western countries did not come for help. They would like, to come for assistance and really to make the necessary actions in order to help also Al-Azhar. 2 years, since 2 years, President Sisi have asked the Imam of Al-Azhar to get rid of the ideology of hate. Nothing happened for 2 years. He cannot work alone, So he needs help from the Western countries for that purpose.
Mr. Maher, just a final question. Egyptian Copts have been very vocal supporters of President Fattah al-Sisi. He now has the aim, as he says, of keeping them safe. How safe are Egyptian Copts going to be feeling at this time, insecurity reigning in the country?
They have to secure, of course, all the places where there are groups meeting for churches and different areas, especially when there are feasts. So I think there is deficiency in the security system. This he has really to reinforce it and to ask for assistance for high technology. This is something to do. But the second thing is to help the Muslim liberals to express themselves. You know, many Muslim liberals are talking about what are the steps to be taken in order to, you know, to progress in this field, and they have been stopped and going to prison using a blasphemy law. So he should also impose some solution of getting rid of this blasphemy law.
Okay, John Maher, you're the president of the French-Egyptian Organization for Human Rights. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you.
In other world news.